Alright, let's see here. We'll probably be taking a little bit of time for this whole thing to get going, I suppose. Once I see the stream. There is America Open Series. Let me make sure audio is working, of course, as it should be. Yep, and there is the stream itself. There's the chat up and ready to go. And of course my voice is being shared. So that is great news. Hello everyone and welcome to round 2 of the America Open Series here on Race Spec Esports. I'm KD1997, your lead commentator for tonight, and this time we are racing at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. This track consists of 2.905 miles long and 16 corners with 2 DRS zones. This track was first introduced back in 1991, has been home to the Spanish Grand Prix ever since then, and also has been home to some testing from Formula 1 for quite some time in the past. Although this track is one of the shortest tracks on the Formula 1 schedule, it's not really the most ideal racetracks on the Formula 1 schedule. This track in particular has mainly 2 DRS zones, not 2 DRS zones, 2 overtaking spots, I should say, with the likes of turns 1 and turn 10, with the aid of DRS, of course. That'll help you down the way. We will probably see some overtaking that could happen at turns 4 and 5. I have seen some side-by-side action that has happened in the past. Otherwise, though, you will be a little bit limited to overtaking. And, of course, with this track as well, there are a little bit of spots to keep an eye on. Turn 3, I have noticed, though, is a bit of a tricky area to spin. It's really easy to spin the car, for whatever reason, with the new patch update that happened a little while ago. And then, of course, turn 7 and 8, the uphill chicane. With that inside sausage curve at turn 8, you got to be very careful how much you use. It's very easy to spin the car if you use too much. And then turn 9, the uphill right-hander of turn 9. Very easy to go wide, very easy to lose the car and spin into the wall. So got to be very careful. And the dirty area around there is absolutely horrendous. And then finally, like Lane has said last night, turns 14 and 15, the chicane. I would agree with what he said last night. It's one of the worst chicanes I have ever seen in the Formula 1 schedule, and yeah, the drivers will have to be mindful of that as well. So with this short track, of course, we will probably expect qualifying to be somewhat close, hopefully in that sort of sense. Now, there is some good news involving the reports. There were no incident reports that came out from last week's race at Interlagos, so everything stands as it was from the previous result. So, the Drivers' Championship looks like this. Jacob is leading the championship with 30 points. Of course, he was our race winner, who went from 17th to 1st. It was a very, very good drive from him as well. Beat Jack by about 2/10 because of his time penalty he had last week. Speaking of him, he is second in the championship with 24 points. He's not racing, and that's because he's a reserve driver. In third is Tom with 20 points, followed by Sublime in fourth with 17. Take Her Easy in fifth with 15. Style Harmony in sixth with 13. Black Bull in seventh with 11. Sparty in eighth with 9 points, excuse me. Sergeant Bill in ninth with 7 points. And Rocket LMR rounds off the 10 with 6 points. In the Constructors' Championship, McLaren are lead with 37 points, followed by Haas in second with 30. That's Alfa Romeo in third with 20 points, AlphaTauri in fourth with 16, Ferrari in fifth with 15 points, Mercedes in sixth with 12, Red Bull Racing in seventh with 6, Alpine in eighth with 4, and Aston Martin Williams have yet to score any points. So we got all that out of the way. Well, you can now focus on qualifying. And hello there, Bags. Good to see you in the chat as well. And yeah, I do agree. It's like I mentioned, turn 3 is definitely an ideal spot to spin as well. It's mainly when you tuck too much inside of turn 3 is what I find. You got to be very, very cautious through there. Anyway, so we got all the drivers out and about getting ready for their laps. Blockman looks like he'll be the first one to not go in. I guess he must have made a mistake while I was looking through the standings. So he's going to go back into the pits, probably put on a new set of boots. I think the first one to cross will be a Ferrari of Professor Phil, who's on an outlap. And I see an Aston Martin coming behind as well. That's Surf. He will also be starting his flying lap. And there's the first time on the board, a 119.637, set by Roden. That is the first time on the board. Then it's followed by Twisted Canadian with a 19.649. Then it's Motion God. Now it's Surf. Actually, that was the other Aston Martin Cole I was thinking of. Surf is on the top of the board now with a 118.686. Then it's Sergeant Bill with a 118.706. See what Professor Phil will do here. He's coming towards turn 6. Now into the uphill chicane at turns 7 and 8. Up and over the hill. Hey, up towards now the critical turn 9. It's very flat, or it can be flat depending on your setup. As Nico now goes to the top of the table with a 117.724. A very familiar name I've raced with before from the America Series last season. He was on the AlphaTauri last season. Now he's in the Williams for this series in the Americas Open. Red Bull also goes to second with a 118 flat. Professor Phil will come up towards the start finish line very shortly as he makes his way through the chicane. And now we'll head around the final corner now, foot to the floor, and we'll open the DRS to cross the line. We'll set an 18.851. Let's see here. Who is on an out lap as we speak? Take her easy. He's on the out lap in a moment, getting ready. Jacob, our current, well, last week's race winner, I should say. He's making his way up towards turn 4. He's purple to the first sector as well. Very competitive first sector as well at 22.135. The yellow flags are out at the back straightaway as he makes his way around turn 5. Yellow flags, again, that's just for Professor Phil getting out of the way of some cars behind. Through the chicane of turns 7, 8, then up to turn 9. Little bit of a hint of lift, maybe about 70% throttle as he went through turn 9. Up towards now turn 10. He may have lost a tad bit of time there. There is a Mercedes in front of him. I believe that would be Sharky in the Mercedes-Benz. He might have been a bit distracted by him. Coming out to turn 12, heading up towards turn 13. Losing the back end just a little bit there. Down to second gear. And stays in second through turns 14 and 15. Around the final corner now. We'll head up towards the start finish line. Jacob will set a 17.855. That's only good enough for second. I reckon though he has a little bit more time in him though. Blockman getting ready for a flying lap. Tell you what, we'll give you a more extensive lap guide of the circuit and ride along with Blockman. Around, down the main straightaway, up towards turn 1. Peak speed, 194 miles an hour. Or for the Aussies, over 310 kilometers an hour. And then heading through turn 3, 6th gear, keeping it flat as much as he possibly can, up to 7th gear, heading up towards now turn 4. Little dab of the brakes down to 4th. Very nicely done there. Looks like he got a good clean exit, heading up towards turn 5. Down to 3rd gear, down to 2nd to find the extra rotation, then back up to 3rd gear on the exit of turn 5. Heading through turn 6, and then up to the chicane, of turn 7 and 8. There's the Red Bull there just getting out of the way. And then heading through turn 9, a little bit of a hint as well. Lift, about 80% lift, I'd say, 80% throttle, I should say, heading through turn 9. Up towards now turn 10, 4th gear, keeps it in 4th, trying to find as much traction as he possibly can. Round 11, then turn 12, hugs the inside apex, 3rd gear, up to 4th, then heads up towards turn 13. Now he brings it back down to 3rd, back up to 4th, then down to 2nd gear through the chicane. Keeps it in 2nd, maybe a bit wide though on the exit of the chicane. Around the final corner now, we'll open the DRS, heads up to the start finish line at the 117.269 for Blockman. That's a very good time indeed from him as well. He's definitely well clear of Nico, at least for the time being. I know, Shaquille. I know, I mixed up my words a little bit there. There, Ozzy. I don't know what I was thinking there. Sometimes when you're speaking quite fast, you do tend to mumble your words, or not mumble your words, but like mix up your words in some sort of case. Yeah, it's happened to a lot of commentators. It's happened to Lane a few times as well. We all make these sort of mistakes as commentators. Sublime looks like he's getting ready shortly. We have a couple drivers that have yet to set lap times. That would be Tom in the McLaren and Sparty in the Mercedes-Benz. And let's see, heading up towards turn 1 into turn 2. As I've known Tom for a little while, he's apparently known as a time trial specialist in the Xbox world. Let's see what he can do here. That is a very fast first sector, 22.020. My goodness, that's very, very fast. Heading through turn 4, up towards turn 5, third gear, if it keeps it nice and stable there at the exit of turn 5, heading up to turn 6, and then to the chicane at turn 7 and 8. Fourth gear, nicely done there, using all the curve there as much as possible. Uses the outside curve turn 9. Around turn 9 he goes, a bit wide, and he runs wide too much and invalidates. I reckon he's using less downforce. I notice how much he lifted through turn 9. That corner is really, really tricky if you do not have a front as much front downforce. You need high downforce to get through that particular corner. It's very, very tricky. Sparty, he's on out lap at the moment. Sparty looks like he's getting ready to go. Nico, let's see, he's on a flying lap, or he will be getting. I always forget about that silly glitch where you get towards the end of the final sector and the out lap indicator pops out instead of it when you're about to cross the line. All right, Nico heads up towards the start finish straight, heading towards turn 1. What will it be the pick speed as it reaches the braking zone? About 193 miles an hour, heading through turns 1 and turn 2. Fourth gear, and then brings it back up to 6th gear, heading around turn 3, hogs the inside apex, full throttle as well, no hint of a lift from Nico as he heads up towards the first sector split, and he's up by about half a tenth through the first sector. Through turn 4, a little bit wide though, he uses all the outside curve there, I noticed there at the exit of turn 4. Yellow fires are out for an Alfa Romeo spun, and a little bit wide from Nico there at turn 5. Heading up towards turn 6, and then to turn 7 and 8. Third gear brings it back into 4th, then 5th, then 6th, up towards turn 9. Little bit of a lift, but he gets through there very nicely done from the way it looked. It looked stable from the Williams. What will be the middle sector for Nico? He is up by about 1/10 and a half to the middle sector. Through turn 10, through 11, 12. Keeping in 4th gear, nicely done. Uses now all the outside curve. Heading through turn 13, 3rd gear, up to 4th, now back down to oh, he went to 1st even. I just noticed. Interesting from Nico. Around the final quarter now. We'll head towards the start finish line, and what will the time be? It's only good enough for second still. A 1:17.342. He proves by about 3 3/4 of a second. As Rebellion, well, he just improved to 17.342. Just getting Nico by about 6 1/1000 of a second, and it's an Alpine 1-2. Oh dear, as Nico has left the session as well. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin back. Jacob looks like, are you pushing? I think he is now. Looks like he may have made a mistake in his lap somewhere, I think. Let's see what he does. He's heading up towards the first corner. Peak speed, 196, the fastest I've seen so far down towards turn 1. 5th gear, then heads to turn 3, 6th gear. Let's see what the clocks say for the Haas car as he heads around turn 3, heading up towards the first sector split. He is up by half a tenth to the first sector. Not as quick though as what Tom did though in the first sector. He was off by about 6 1/100ths to Tom's first sector time. Heading up towards now turn 7 and 8. 4th gear, nicely done there. Uses all the curves there at 7 and 8. Up towards turn 9. 6th gear, keeps it in 6. There are yellow flags for Alfa Romeo going slowly. Hopefully he'll get out of the way. As Jacob is up by about 3 1/2 A big improvement there from Jacob as he heads out of turn 11 to turn 12, 3rd gear. Now short shift up to 4th. Oh, but he runs wide and invalidates at the exit of turn 12. Very easy mistake to do if you're not patient with the throttle. He'll have to go back into the pits and get a new fresh set of tires. Surf, he's on an out lap. He'll be getting ready shortly. Black Bull, I think, has backed out of his lap. He's currently 7th with a 1:18.3. Let's see, Professor Phil. First sector, he was down by 1,000. Now he's found over about 3/4 of a tenth of a second. 3 3/4 of a tenth of a second to the first sector, or middle sector. Oh gosh, I'm really mixing my words up. Now heading through the middle, goodness, to the final sector, and then makes his way to the chicane. 2nd gear, as I think someone just improved there. That was Tom in the McLaren. He goes 7th fastest with a 1:18.0. Professor Phil, he follows behind him with an 18.233. Alright, so we've got 4.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying so far. Right now, it's an Alpine 1-2. Blockman leads the way with a 1:17.269 as Nico has joined back into the session. That's good to see that he is back. Now, from pole from last night in Pacific Elite Series, I saw was a 1:16.4 set by ACW. I don't know if we'll see a time in the 16s, but it's pretty close. We could see a time maybe in the high 16s. We'll have to wait and see. As there's the timing board just going to a bit of a glitch there. That's because of Nico going into his car again. So yeah, at least he's back in. See Sparty coming up to the start finish line. He only goes to 16th with a 19.2. Then his teammate behind does a 19.4. So Mercedes currently occupying 16th and 17th. Furtis, he's getting ready for an outlap. A new face I haven't seen yet in this series. He didn't. I don't think he raced last week, if I'm correct. But yeah, no, he's in the Red Bull for tonight. But yeah, no, that's another face I've never seen. But currently he's 4th, so he's at a respectable 4th place for the time being. Yeah, I probably will assume everybody will be getting ready to go. We'll be getting ready for their final lap shortly. Yep, I see Rebellion. He's also out and about as well. Currently just under a 10th behind his teammates for pole position. We'll see what Verus can do here in the Red Bull. He's also another one that could fight for pole. Let's see how he does. As he comes around the final corner now, and oh, I see what he's doing. He's going to go for a bit of a reconnaissance lap. So he'll do one more warm-up lap, and then he'll go for another put lap, and that'll be a push lap. And there's Blockman. He's also getting ready as well. He just came out of the pits. You just saw there in the Alpine. Let's see. Jacob, he's on an out lap. He's getting ready. Surf. Looks like he might have backed out. I think Sergeant Bill is doing a warm-up lap as well. Sublime is not on a warm-up lap. He's pushing. He's up by a 10th of a second to the first sector. Now heading through turn 4, heading down towards turn 5. As Yellow flies out in sector 3. That's for a Ferrari that looks like getting out of the way, I think. Heading up towards turn 6. Then into turn 7 and 8. Down to 4th gear. Oh, a bit of a slide there from the McLaren. Using all the outside curve at turn 9. And then heads up towards the second DRS straight. Down the back straightaway towards turn 10. The clock says he's up by nearly 4/10 of a second to the middle sector. Let's see, Veritas. Yeah, he's... Oh yeah, forgot he's... Silly me, he's on a warm-up lap. Rebellion, are you pushing? Let's see here. He's coming through turn 5. We'll probably keep an eye on him shortly. Sublime, though, come around the final corner now. And head up to the start-finish line. What will the time be for the McLaren? Goes up to 8th with a 1:18.2. Rebellion to the middle sector is... He's down by about over a 10th. Blockman, though, he is getting ready for his lap. Nico will soon be getting ready shortly. Oh, and Rebellion has crashed into the wall at the exit of turn 12, or at the entry of turn 12, and he is officially done. So he will not continue to go further. Sparty is also retired as well. And Blockman is up by nearly a 10th to the first sector. Nico, no, that's Veritas, sorry. He's going on a push lap right now. He's coming through turn 3. Heading up to the first sector split. What will the clock say for him as he makes his way up to the first sector? He's up by just over a 10th, and that's actually a fast first sector as well. A 21.8. That's the quickest I've seen so far. Blockman, though, heading around turn 6. Opens the DRS, heading down the back straightaway. What will the clock say for him as he reaches down that back straight? He is up, but only by 77 thousandths. Jacob, though, meanwhile, goes up to second with a 1:17.280. Can Blockman find any more time? Nico, though, is coming up towards turn 7 and 8. Veritas is up by only a 10th and a half to the middle sector. He hasn't found much time, but he's still up overall, at least for now. Blockman will cross the line. He sets a 17.0. That's at least the benchmark for pole. Nico, though, is up by 60 thousandths to the middle sector. He needs to find a massive amount of time in this final sector. Veritas will cross the line. It's only second for him. A 1:17.1 for him. Nico will make his way around the far corner now. Up towards the start-finish line comes the Williams. What will the clock say? It's only good enough for 5th. A 1:17.348. Tom is up by about 2.5 tenths. He'll cross the line. It's only good enough for 6th fastest. A 1:17.4. Cole, meanwhile, goes 7th with a 17.6. Black Bowler, only good enough for 8th with an 18.1. Sublime is retired. He will sell for 9th with an 18.2. Professor Phil, let's see if he's got anything in store. I think he's still pushing from the way it's looking. Sergeant Bill is done with his lap. And yeah, Professor Phil is up by nearly half a tenth around the far corner. Foot to the floor, up to the line. And it's only good enough for 8th fastest. A 1:18.077. And just like that, it is Blockman on pole position for the qualifying session with a 1:17.072. We were close to seeing a time into the 16s, just a little bit off. But still, very respectful lap by Blockman. So he will start from pole position here in Barcelona. Very critical pole position as well, considering how this track is in terms of overtaking. Verdes will start in 2nd. He's not far off him, only about 70 thousandths, nearly 70 thousandths. There's Jacob, Rebellion, Nico, Tom, Cole, Professor Phil, Black Bowler, Sublime, Surf, Sergeant Bill, Motion God, Rodin, Twisty Canadian, Rocket, LMR, Smarty, Sharky, Styled Harmony, and Take Her Easy. We'll round off the order. Not a bad qualifying session overall. That actually was pretty good to watch. And also, I just seen what Sparty is giving me for the weather update. Yep, dry for the race. So that's something to keep a note. So we will not have any wet weather interference. That's good to know that. Yeah, especially around Barcelona where it's very tricky to overtake. Not the easiest to do so, especially with wet weather conditions. Alright, so we'll get everyone all going for the session. Excuse me. Going for the session, and we'll get going shortly. Of course, it does take a little bit of time because some drivers are on either older consoles like a PS4 or whatever the case is. It's always good when you have a more next-gen console like PS5 or Xbox Series. Or even PC for the matter. Depending on what it is. There is the countdown clock as well. So we'll all be set to go, I believe. I probably would imagine a few drivers will have a mix of strategies. Maybe we might see a 50-50 split with the strategies with some on the hards, some on the mediums as usual. But let's see. Alright, let's take a look at the tire situation. Yeah, fair mix, I'd say. A fair mix. Blockman, though, will start on the hard compound tire. He's the leading runner on the hard compound tire. Both Alpines are doing the exact same strategy. Very interesting. Verdes in 2nd will start on the mediums. Jacob will start on the mediums as well in 3rd. And then, like I mentioned, Rebellion will start in 4th, who's on the hard compound tire. Same with Nico in 5th place. So Tom is also on the mediums. Cole on the hard compound tire. Then it's Professor Phil, Black Bowler, Sublime, Surf, Sergeant Bill, Motion God, Rodin, Twisty Canadian, following those drivers on the hard medium compound tire. On the hards is Rocket LMR in 16th. Then it's Sparty in 17th on the mediums, Sharky on the hards, and then Style Harmony on the mediums, and then Take Her Easy on the hard compound tire. So we got about 7 drivers on the hards, 13 on the mediums. So mostly on the medium compound tire. But both good racing tires, I'd say, for a track like this. Surprisingly. Considering how abrasive it can be as well for a track like Spain. Alright, so Blockman will lead the field to the front of the pack. Of course, he'll be lined up on the cleaner side of the racetrack on the racing line. So he should be able to try to get a good start, but he is on the hards, remember. So the best he has to hope for is get a good launch. If he doesn't, though, Verdes will have the inside line and into turn 1. Now, and sometimes I have noticed turn 1 can be somewhat chaotic in races like here in Catalunya. So we could see it, we could not see it, I don't know. Well, I know last night wasn't really that case for Pacific Elite, but we'll have to wait and see. All 20 cars will line up on the grid, and yeah, 20 car field. That's a very great sized field indeed for this race tonight. As everyone will line up, get in the grid slots, and we will have 33 laps ahead of us here in Barcelona. Hopefully we'll get going very shortly. There we are. We've got 10 red lights for the Spanish Grand Prix. And we are underway here in Barcelona. And it's a nice start by Blockman, who gets off the line very good indeed. Jacob follows behind though. He's going into second. It looks like ahead of Verdes. It's 3 wide heading into turn 1. Contact between Tom and Verdes into turn 1 as they now make the way to turn 3. Nico's gone ahead of Tom. Yellow flags are out. That's Surf, that's Spun. Sublime's dropped down the order as the cars make their way around turn 4. Jacob, though, looking to the inside of Blockman, using the grip of those medium compound tires. On the outside line, though, heading into turn 5. Jacob, though, will have the grip of your tire, like I mentioned. Oh, contact between the Haas and the Alpine. Blockman, though, has to go down the order a little bit. He drops down now to 3rd. Because of that little contact. And spinning is Nico! He spun out a little bit there into the infield. And Surfer has, I think he's crashed. He has at the exit of turn 3, leading up to turn 4. But Nico made a crucial mistake at the exit of turn 7. He's dropped down now to 11th place. Now the top 2, I kind of predicted that they would go in the... At least on the medium rows being leading the top 2, but I wouldn't have expected, though, a little later. I would have expected it at turn 1. Blockman, though, had a great start. That's not normally what I've seen from Blockman in recent times, but through that second phase, though, the race, yeah, it seemed like Jacob, though, was just trying to get aggressive, get going, get the use of these medium compound tires as much as he possibly can. He's already got a 1-second lead already to Verdes. The cars now make their way around turn 3. Blockman's behind Verdes, only by about 1/10 and a half. Oh, but Verdes ran a bit wide too, as I noticed. And here comes Blockman to the inside of turn 4, and he's back into 2nd place ahead of Verdes. There's Tom as well, in the McLaren as well. He's also on the medium compound tires. He's also got ahead of Rebellion, I noticed too, at the start of this race. Rebellion's up down to 5th place. Cole is up to 6th after starting at 7th place. I think that's where he started, if I'm correct. Heading through turn 9 now. Verdes, though, I don't think he's quite done with Blockman just quite yet. He's not close enough, though, to attack. Of course, there's no DRS that will be enabled on the next lap. Tom, though, is looking interested. He wants to try to get by that Red Bull as fast as he can. He needs to get by him and get past Blockman and try to catch Jacob. That is his main target. Heading through the chicane, and now to the final turn, as we will begin lap 3 of 33 here at Barcelona. Jacob sets a new fast lap with a 21.680, as DRS will now be enabled. Yellow flags are out. That is one of the Mercedes-Benzes, and that is Sharky at the final corner, losing control from the way it looks. Oh, but nearly losing control was Blockman. It looked like he went sideways at the exit of turn 2, leading into turn 3. He's fortunate that he caught that at least, but he's lost a couple of tenths because of that mistake. Heading through turn 5. Running a bit deep though was Tom. He's lost a bit of touch though to Verdes, but still within DRS range. Rebellion though staying behind in 5th. He's doing a pretty decent job as well. There's Cole, there's Black Bowler. as well in this little train. And also following this train is Professor Phil. Fairness looking, he can't find anything on Blockman. He has to stay behind him at least for now. Hey, through turn 11, into turn 12 the cars go. There's Jacob, he's trying to run away as he can. He's got a 1.7 second lead on Blockman. Blockman though might be vulnerable to Verdis as they make their way through the chicane. And now around the final corner, but Blockman gets a really good exit compared to Verdis. Jacob sets another fastest lap with a 21.397. Down the main straightaway up towards turn 1. And yeah, no, it doesn't look like he'll be close enough. Yellows, it's, I think, motion. God, oh my! As Take Her Easy nearly made contact from the way it looked on the Haas. And there goes Styled Harmony to follow in front of the Ferrari and the Haas into turn 1. He's now moved up to 14th place. Oh, but he nearly loses the back end at the exit of turn 2. Let's see. Still got this train forming though. Jacob though hasn't really pulled away, but he's not within DRS trouble to Blockman. But still it's close between those two. Hey, out of turn 9, down towards turn 10. It's Blockman that's leading this little train with Verdis, Tom. It's pretty much from Blockman down to, looks like Nico, I believe, or no, it's Twisty Canadian and the other Williams. Yeah, because he's behind. Oh, speaking of which, I just said his name and as he spun at turn 10, the inside of turn 10, he must have made contact with somebody, I think. Tom, oh, hang on, yellows. It's Verdis who spun at the final corner. He's up all the way down to 11th, maybe 12th. Yep, it's down to 12th. Oh, and here comes the Ferrari and Alfa Romeo of Tiggereezy and Styled Army, but they don't seem to have the momentum to get past him. Oh, that's such a shame for Verdis. He was right on the back of Blockman, but unfortunately, the spin at the ace of the chicane has led to him tumbling down the order, down to 12th. Oh, so unfortunate. He's now going to have to try and make up all that ground yet again. Cole, meanwhile, though, has gotten up to 4th, I've just noticed. He's up to now 4th place, gained by Rebellion. But now he's going to have to try to push to get towards Tom, who's right now in the back of his teammate, Blockman. Coming out of the turn 9. Tom still has DRS, but he's not really close enough, though, to get close enough towards the Alpine. He runs a bit wide, but still keeps it tidy. And around turn 12! That's too much curve. He is super lucky. Super lucky. He used all that curve on the right-hand side. The car was about to go out, but fortunately he caught it just in time. My goodness, that was so close. Rebellion will have DRS, but it's like almost anything like in Spain. You have DRS, but sometimes you're not close enough, or unless you're this sort of situation with Professor Phil. Professor Phil overtaking Black Bowler. Verdis is now overtaking his teammate. That's it. The entry of turn 1, he's up until 11th now. But yeah, he's still got work to do. And now into turn 5. 1.4 seconds, 1.6 is between Jacob and Blockman, making their way now into turn 7, into turn 8, up towards now the crest of turn 9, the sweeping right-hander of turn 9. Get through there, nicely done. Blockman seems to have pretty decent pace, considering that he is on the hard compound tire. He's looking like, I'd say, in a pretty good position, in my honest opinion. Yeah, just keeping it tidy. All he has to do right now is not make a mistake. That's the main thing he has to not do, is make a mistake. Or have this guy get close. And right now, Tom is close. And he's going to use the battery and DRS. Blockman covers to defend the right-hand side, but there's literally nothing he can do. The McLaren will move up into 2nd place. Blockman will now drop down to 3rd. As he runs a bit wide, but gets through there okay. Just a little bit wide. Sergeant Bill being overtaken by Nico. That is for 8th. And I think Verdes just got by Roden as well at turn 1 for 10th. He's now back into the top 10. Yeah, what Tom needs to do now is try to push, try to break away from Blockman as possible, as quickly as possible. And through turn 9, down towards turn 10. And Blockman, he'll have DRS, he'll close up as much as he can. Oh, hang on. Not close enough though, obviously, to attack. What he needs to do is get a good final sector, and he can try to get close to the 2 Xbox guys in front of him. Heading through turn 13, into the chicane of 14 and 15. And Tom is at... Oh, Tom has lost it! At the exit of the chicane! He's done the exact same thing as Verdes has done. And he's dropped down all the way to 8th. Make it 9th. All the way down to 9th place. Oh, he might get overtaken by Verdes unless Verdes has momentum. No, he doesn't. Oh dear, oh dear. That's incredibly unfortunate for Tom. He was racing so hard to catch up to Jacob, but unfortunately that mistake at the exit of the chicane has really, really cost him. Oh my. Out of turn 5, down towards turn 6. It's right now 2.1 seconds between the top 2. As also Rebellion's gone by Cole, I've just noticed. That might have happened at the first corner when I wasn't looking. There's Professor Phil. He's leading a bit of a train as well with Black Buller and Nico behind. Black Buller will have DRS, same with the other cars behind him. Actually, no, I don't think Nico does. No, he doesn't. He was just over a second going to the detection zone. And out of turn 12, down towards turn 13. The gap right now between Phil and Black Yellows. That's Motion God at the exit of turn 10. Spinning in the inside part of it, turn 10. Hello there, Sharky. As he now ventures into the rallycross portion of the track. Hey, through turn 3. Cole right now still hovering in the back of Rebellion. Right now the hard runners in the top 5 are Blockman, Rebellion, and Cole, at least for now. Jacob, all he has to do is try to push as he can. Try to maintain the gap, because I think right now at this stage, the medium tires will, I think, be even with the hards. What he's got to do as well, once he gets out of the pits, is set some quali laps. And there's the front wing change there for Motion God. Try to push as much as he can, and just see if he can get much of a gap once Blockman pits. That, of course, unless we have a safety car. We did have 2 last night in Pacific Elite. We did have 2 last week in Interlagos for this series, but we'll see if it does come into play. Cole, I see, representing the goldfish helmet. Oh, I know, because I see the fin on the top of his helmet. Down the main straightaway. Rebellion, not close enough. Sublime has crashed out. That is at turn 7 and 8. Is that going to bring a safety car? The answer is yes. It is a safety car that has been deployed. Oh, this is going to help Jacob a lot. Or anyone on the medium tire. This is sort of screwed the hard runners. Yeah, Jacob will be absolutely delighted to see that safety car come out right about the pit window for the medium tire runners to get off of those tires, go onto the set of hards, and go to the end. Yeah, unfortunate though for Sublime though, crashing out at turn 7 and 8. I reckon what he did there was he lost control at the back end at the exit of turn 7, and the car just went to the left side barrier, and then that was it. obviously a very common mistake to do. If you are not careful there through that chicane. And into the pits goes Jacob. Blockman's coming in too. Interesting. So Blockman decided to pull the plug as well. But Rebellion though, oh, okay, this is interesting. So Rebellion's staying out. Of course, he doesn't want to get held up by the double stack. And the hard tire is on for Jacob. Nico stays out as well. Soft tire? Really? Oh dear, I don't know about that, Blockman. He almost overtook him in the pit lane, I noticed. Like, I noticed he ghosted at one point. Trying to overtake him as he went into the pit, out of the pits. Oh, I wonder if this may have been a fault from Mark. Because there's no way in hell you go up from the hards to the softs with about 23 laps to go. No chance. Oh, this is really screwed Blockman big time. This will definitely delight Jacob even more. Honestly, if Blockman does decide just to stay out and go with the soft tire, just let him by. You don't need to fight him. Let those soft tires burn out, and then just he'll go back into the pits and go for another set of tires. So yeah, a few drivers that did stay out was Rebellion, Nico, Rocket in the top 3, and Sparty as well in 7th. He's still in the medium compound tires. Everyone else has pitted for hard compound tires, except for, oh, I forgot about Sharky as well in 10th. He also didn't pit as well. So we have 5 drivers that did not pit under the safety car. This is going to be quite interesting. But yeah, even if Blockman did go onto the mediums, I'm still surprised he decided to pull the plug this soon. Because even if he did go to the medium tire, I don't think there was any way in hell he would go all the way to the end. Sparry, meanwhile, has decided, you know what, I'll go into the pits. Screw it. Get me off these tires. Get me onto the hards. He's got enough of a gap to Motion God anyway. He was about 36 seconds behind. Alright, so once we get these two to catch up, we will get back into green flag racing shortly. Yeah, very interesting tactics, I would say. Yep, and they have caught up to the safety car. Sparring and Motion God, so that should be good enough. Alright. So that means we will get the indication the safety car will come in this lap once we get to the end of the middle sector, right about to the entry of turn 10. And there you go. The lights are off, and the safety car is coming in this lap. So Rebellion will lead the field for the safety car restart. Nico is behind him as well in the Williams in 2nd. There's Rocket LMR in 3rd in the Red Bull. They have yet to make a stop as well. Jacob in 4th doesn't need to. He can go to the end on those hards. Blockman though, he's going to be a bit... It's going to be ambitious for him, but we'll have to wait and see. Cole's also on the medium tires as well. I just noticed too. Alright, here we go. If we can get going, we are... Oh, contact between Rebellion and Nico at the start! And we're back under green, and Rocket's gone past him there for 2nd place. No, oh, he gives the positions... Oh, that was so messy almost. It's 3 wide. Oh, I thought there was going to be 3 wide almost between these guys. My goodness. Blockman to the inside with the soft compound tires. He gets by Rocket into 4th place. Yeah, that was a bit messy though. Rebellion, hang on a minute, there's yellow flags. That's Professor Phil dropping down to 16th and to destroy. How on earth has he done that? He's gone all the way into the wall at turn 3. Very interesting how he's done that. But yeah, no, like, there was contact between Rebellion and Nico at the final corner on the restart. And I think they tried to back off a little bit so it wouldn't get any worse. And then Rocket passed him. And then, yeah, try to give all those positions back and create a bit of a mess. And now here goes Blockman around the outside. He gets by into third, ahead of Jacob. On the soft tires, like I mentioned, too. And there's Cole as well. He has met the tire requirement, but I don't know if those tires will make it. Yellow is Sharky to the right side. He spun out at turn 12. Get the car going, my man. Oof. That is quite close. Blockman, though, on a charge. He's on the back of Nico. Heading up towards turn 1. He goes to the inside. Nico will cover the left-hand side. We'll have the outside light, though, for turn 3. Oh, nothing he can do about that. Thanks to those soft tires, Blockman's now up to second place. He's now behind his teammate of Rebellion. Yeah, what Blockman has got to do, I guess now, well, this is the only thing he can do, get to the front and hope for another safety car to get in his favor. Because like I said, there is no way you're going to the end on those softs. No way. Cole on the back of Jacob, heading through turn 9. And there's the team wars there. Blockman's now into the lead of the race. He's now got to try to push as hard as he can. Hope for a safety car and, yeah, just pray. He's got to pray. Yeah, whether that's a strategic call, I don't know. I just feel like mostly he got screwed by Mark. No in this game, of course. Blockman now sets fastest lap with a 20.345 on the soft compound tire, nonetheless. Heading down the main straightaway, RF1 Tom has now gone past Blockman. He's Black Bulla, sorry. Get the B's all mixed up pretty much. But anyways, he's up into 7th place, now on the back of Rocket in the Red Bull. Hey, up to turn 4, he's right behind him as well. Blockman right now has a 1.6 second lead, thanks to those soft tires. Yeah, he's definitely going to have to push like crazy. Nico still in the back of Rebellion. There's Jacob, and there's Cole as well in the Aston Martin. Yellows are out, take her easy. In the Ferrari, has spun at turn 7 and 8. Getting down the ore, down to 16th. Losing control. Through turn 12, down towards turn 13. And then into the chicane of 14-15. Nico, if he can hang on, will get DRS to try to see if he can get past the Alpine in front of him. As Blockman now sets another one. Another fastest lap, a 120.332. Nico not using any sort of battery. Doesn't want to fight just yet. Not close enough. RF1 Tom, meanwhile, has gone past Rocket. Up into 6th place. Take her easy, moves past Motion God as well. Cole and Jacob. Ooh, he is all over that Haas's gearbox. Here he comes. Oh, he thought about going down to the inside. He just didn't have enough. He didn't have enough room to try overtake him. Heading through turn 7 and 8, up towards the crest of turn 9. Right now it's just a 4-car train at the front of the field, at least for the time being. Tristy Canadian game by Styled Harmony. That was, I'm guessing, at 7 and 8. It must have been. Interesting. Four and a half tenths is the get, or 5.5 tenths, 5 tenths separate between Nico and Rebellion. It's now decreased now. Blockman saying another one. Another fast lap with a 20.285. Yellows are out. Sergeant Bill, I think, has spun. It is him at the exit of the fall corner. Dropping down all the way to... Oh, that's close. He goes almost the wrong time, but he's dropped all the way down to 16th. Unfortunate, though, to make that error of making a spin at turn 16. Oh, and Riverdis nearly did the same thing. Sparty also gets past Motion God as well. Cole is now trying to overtake the Haas in front. He's now on the outside, heading through turn 5, and I think he's got the job done. He has got the job done. He's now moved up into 4th, ahead of the Haas. Now he's going to have to deal with the Williams and the Alpine in front. Blockman's got a 4.6 second lead between himself and his teammate, who's still trying to hold off Nico, at least for right now. And through turn 10, up towards turns 11 and 12, comes the Alpine, the Williams, the Aston Martin, and the Haas. See if Nico will try to go for any sort of move. He's got enough battery to try to attack, but he needs a good exit. It looks like Rebellion may have the better exit compared to him. He's using battery now. Can he close up? And Rebellion doesn't have any battery. You can see the flashing red light on the back of the Alpine car. Nope, not close. Oh, but he was a little close to the back end. Verdis now overtakes his teammate again, and yellows are out again as well for Sharky at the exit of, that's at the entry of turn 16. And also, I guess I didn't see this, but Phil must have pitted a little while ago too. He must have suffered some damage. He was somewhere in the midfield, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's a bit of a slapper there from Nico. Losing a bit of the back end at the exit of turn 5. He's under pressure from the Aston Martin, and the yellow flags are out again. And that's again Motion God at the exit of turn 4. Down the back straightaway. Not quite close enough. Around turn 10, heading up towards turn 11 and 12. Comes Cole and Nico. Jacob's still hovering behind. There's Tom as well in the McLaren. And through the chicane. And then up towards the... Oh, Nico loses the back end. I think that was maybe some intent because he was going into the pits. I thought he was about to lose it actually, but nope, he's in. So he pulls the plug. And he'll get off those hards, go onto a set of mediums. 5.6 seconds between Blockman and Rebellion. Jacob's still right behind as well. Nico will drop down all the way to 15th. Yeah, that's the price you pay when there's a safety car comes out and you start on the hard compound tire. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's the way of luck, I suppose. Alright, hey, up towards the chicane. Up turn 7 and 8. Cole is all over the back of Rebellion, heading through turn 9. He's got a really good run. Rebellion has no battery to play with. If it does Cole have enough? No, and he's not quite close enough. He'll probably wait until the main straight to go and attack the Alpine car in front of him. Around turn 11 and 12. And then heading up towards turn 13. A little bit of a tank slapper there from Rebellion. I did notice he lost the back end slightly at the mid-apex of turn 12. And he's pulling the plug as well. He's going into the pit lane. He doesn't want to have enough. He's had enough of those tires. He'll get onto a set of mediums to go to the end of the race. So now he'll drop down almost towards the bottom pretty much. He'll probably be right alongside Nico, I reckon. As Black... Oh, that's... I forgot. You forget though that, yeah, there's two cars in the pit lane. So Rocket and Rebellion are in the pits, onto a set of medium compound tires. And yeah, pretty much, yeah, we'll see some of those guys get in. Yeah, Rocket's down to 15th. Yeah, Rebellion's just ahead of Nico as well in 13th place. Blockman right now has a 6.9 second lead over Cole, at least for right now. But he's got company with two Xbox players of Jacob and Tom. He needs to try to pull away as much as he can. Away from Jacob and away from Tom. And like I said, for Blockman, what he needs is a safety car. He really needs one. Unless he magically somehow goes to the end, which I doubt he will. But if he does, I will be highly impressed. Here comes Tom. DRS. Closing in on the Haas. Looks... Oh, that's a bit of a late movement there from Jacob. That was a little bit late. Oh, he nearly chopped his nose off as they approached the braking zone. Holy smokes. Take her easy, gets past stalled harmony. No problem at all. Into turn one. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Tristy Canadian on the back of Roden right now. This is the fight for 7th place. We do have a fair bit of mix of battles here and there. At least. That's also the typical Barcelona as well. You get these sort of... You get this sort of leader that's running away. Not being Blockman right now, but right now he's on a soft tire compound. And then you got these little packs of battles that will happen as well. Like we're seeing with Tom and Jacob for 3rd place. And then of course with Roden and Twisted Canadian and Take Her Easy battling for 7th place. Blockman's in. Yep, he's now into the pit lane. So that means Cole will now be your race leader for now here in Spain. Then it will be Jacob and Tom. That is your podium, at least for now. Now what does Blockman go on to? It's another set of stop. Yellow flags. Twisted Canadian spun at turn 13. Oh dear. Not good news for him at least. Oh, and another one too! Sergeant Bill. Another driver to end up in the pit entry. 2 cars I've seen that spin around that area. Unfortunately, he's all the way down to 14th. But his teammate though, oh, around the outside of turn 8. Just getting by the Ferrari. To his fair credit. And here comes Sparty as well. He wants a piece of the action. And here comes Rebellion! Oh, that was a bit close. He nearly made it 3 wide into turn 4. Look at the momentum he's got. It's nearly 3 wide into turn 5. But he doesn't make it 3 wide at least. Oh, and a bit of contact between Rebellion and Take Her Easy. Here comes the Rebellion. Here comes the Alpina Rebellion. But he wasn't close enough to attack. Heading up towards 7 and 8. But he will have DRS heading through turn 9. Look at the speed he'll have though down this back straight. But does he have enough? Oh, he's gonna try to fight. Not close enough. But down the inside as well as Nico in the Williams trying to get by the Ferrari. He's now up into 11th place. Rebellion's just all over the back of him. All over the back of Sparty. Sparty though I think might be a bit of a sitting duck with these fresh medium runners behind him. He's going to have Rebellion for company as Take Her Easy goes into the pit lane. Here goes Rebellion. Bye-bye. Not much you can do about that. Not even with that speed down the straights. He's got some straight line speed, I will say that. Blockman on the back of Black Bowler. Heading through turn 5, he's, yeah, like I said, back on the soft compound tires. He took those tires to about 11 laps. So I think he could carry those softs to the end, but he has to push like crazy if he wants to try to fight, maybe for at least a podium. Here comes Blockman to the inside. Not much Black Polo can do. Moves himself up into 5th. Little battles here too. Roden, oh, hang on a minute. No, that was Rebellion getting by Stalled Harmony, and I think Nico just getting by Sparty at turn 10. Bloodman sets another fastest lap, a 1:19.812 on those fresh set of soft compound tires. Yeah, right now your top 5, Cole, Tom, Jacob, Verdes, and Blockman is your top 5, at least for now. But can Blockman make it to the end with those tires? Well, will he have enough pace towards the end, I should say. He will make it. But will he have enough pace? Is the question. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Rebellion now gets by Rodin, and Nico getting by Styled Harmony. That was at turn 4, and Rebellion's move, that happened at turn 5. And now up the hill towards turn 9. With the gap right now hovering just about half a second between Nico and Styled Harmony. But of course, Styled Harmony not close enough to attack. Yeah, front of the field though is somewhat spread out at least. Blockman though sets another fastest slab, a 1:19.502. He's right now 2.9 seconds behind Verdes, which is a bit of a catch if I'm totally honest. He'll have to push hard. Here comes Nico to the inside of the AlphaTauri of Rodin. Goes down the inside just like that. To move himself up into 8th. Now we have a bit of clear track in front of him. You have to try as hard as if he can catch Rebellion, but that's a bit of a tough task, especially with Rebellion's straight line speed. Because from the way it looks, he's got plenty of it. Set to 3 yellow flags. That is Sharky at the exit of turn 12. Spinning out. Yep, there he is. He is struggling to get the car going. And there we go, he's been lapped. Yeah, the car's just using a bit of the old layout it used to have before that awful chicane came into the picture. I did hear rumors before, I think, that they were thinking of getting rid of that chicane. If that's true, I hope they do so, and I hope they do it quickly. Yeah, that chicane just provides absolutely nothing. Doesn't provide any overtaking, doesn't provide... You just have to, like, go through it slowly and then hope for, like, any sort of momentum you can to get within DRS range to the car in front of you. Speaking of which, Blockman now on the back of Verdes. Hanging out of turn 5, and then heads down the hill towards 7 and 8. The gap right now hovering at 7/10. Hey, around turn 9, down the back straightaway, DRS open. He's looking. Of course, he can't commit anything just yet, Blockman. Not yet at least. Out of turn 12. Then into turn 13. Yellows are out. Sector 2 and 3 yellow flags for what, though? Oh, that's why. Sharky getting out of the way of a few cars. Alright, Blockman with DRS down the main straightaway. He's using a battery. Trying to gain. Can he get there in time? Down the inside. Uses the curbs. You use the outside line for 2, but like that he'll get ahead of him into turn 3. Now his next target will be Jacob in the Haas. As Sharky is out as he's in the pit lane. I almost got too excited. I thought that was him crashing out actually. But now there's still time if there is a late safety car that will happen, but yeah, we did have that last week when Surf did that at Interlagos when we were in the intermediate conditions. He was on the mediums going down the main straight and he crashed out and caused the late safety car. Brought the field back up and then Jacob managed to win based off of Jack's penalty he had. Set to 1 yellow flag. That's just for Sharky's car getting out of the pits. Meanwhile, towards the back, we still got a battle for 9th brewing between Roden, Style Harmony, and Sparty. Yeah, there's the cars. They're just stranded alongside. Hopefully it's out of the way. Through turn 13, up towards turns 14 and 15. Style Harmony on the back of Black Baller. There's Sparty 2, still hovering. Style Harmony will use DRS and battery. They both don't have a great deal of it, as Tristy Canadian is spun near the final corner. Oh, Stealth Harmony not quite close to try and attack the AlphaTauri. Cole's doing somewhat of a decent job, actually. He's still maintaining the gap between himself and Tom, to his fair credit. 2 seconds, nearly, between him and Tom. Jacob, though, has lost touch to him a little bit as they make their way up the hill, down towards turn 9, and then into turn 10 comes the AlphaTauri, the Alfa Romeo, and the Mercedes, but of course nothing happening because he's not too close to attack the AlphaTauri driver. Out of turn 12, down towards turn 13. Now the other question is, though, is how will Cole's tires be at the end of this race? That's the only question I've got for him. Oh, and losing the back end too with Style Harmony in the Alfa Romeo. Sparty still on the back. He's got DRS. Does he have... No, he's not close. Oh, he gets deep on the brakes, though, to his fair credit. Let's see, Blockman's gap between himself and Jacob, 2 seconds. Can he catch that Haas in time before those softs decide to die out? He's got to do at least another 4 laps on those soft compound tires, but he's got to make them count. What Jacob, though, has to not do is get a 3-second time penalty. If that happens, then the race will play into Blockman's hands to get a podium. And to fair credit to everyone, no time penalties so far. That's at least a great thing to see. Everyone's kept it at least somewhat clean so far. You have to say that. Alright. 1.8 seconds. That's up to 2 seconds between Cole and Tom. 1.6 seconds between Blockman and Jacob. He's closing in a little bit by bit. Oh, Style Harmony. He looked like he was close to Black Baller, but of course it wasn't close enough. Sparty, though, does he have the momentum to pass the Alfa Romeo? He's got battery to play with, but he doesn't look to the inside. Oh, interesting. I thought he would have gone for a move there. I guess not. So a bit of a lockup as well, you saw there. 1.4 seconds between Jacob and Blockman. Heading through the chicane and around the final corner as we now begin lap 31 of 33. 3 laps left into the race. I don't think there'll be any safety cars coming out, so this will probably be a genuine fight to the end. And right now that gap between the top 2 has started to decrease a little bit. It's now down to about 1.6 seconds. It was nearly 2 seconds before that. So Cole's lost about 4/10 on this lap. He's got to try to maintain that pace as much as he can on those medium compound tires as they now make their way around turn 5, down the hill to 6, and then into turn 7 and 8. It's 1.6 seconds separating Cole and Tom. I think this battle might be on Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. It might be on, though, for the final podium spot between Blockman and Jacob as they now make the way to turn 10. The gap right now, 1.2 seconds separating between Jacob and Blockman. 1.685 seconds separating between Cole and Tom. Rebellion also is closing in on Black Bola. So we might see a battle here. Sorry, a Styled Harmony has crashed. That's at the entry of turn 9. He's out of the race. He's not going to score anything out of that, unfortunately. Oh, that's such a shame. I think that kind of crash was what something Blockman would have wanted if there was a safety car, but unfortunately not this sort of case. Let me look at the barrier situation. Jacob has 1%. How much does Blockman have? He has nearly 20%, so he's got a fair chunk to work with. How about between the top two? Cole has got a massive 57% compared to Tom's 15%. So he's got the battery advantage, but he doesn't really have the tire advantage, maybe. I don't know. It's going to depend, really. It's 1.4 seconds. The gap has slowly decreased by a couple of tenths. And Blockman has DRS. He's now within DRS range of Jacob. He needs to get a good final sector if he wants DRS down the main straightaway. Heading up towards turn 12 and then into turn 13. The top two also separate by 1.3 seconds as we now begin the final lap here in Barcelona. It's right now 1.3 seconds separating the top two as Blockman has spun at the final corner. He's dropped down to 5th. And that's all he's going to lose at least. Oh, but so unfortunate. He's not going to fight for the podium. That will be held by Jacob unless he makes a mistake. But the top two could still be on. It's only 1.1 seconds separated between Tom and Cole. Cole's on 22 lap old mediums. Tom, meanwhile, is on 22 lap old hard. So obviously he'll have advantage to get to the end. But the wear on those mediums, I bet, are horrific for Cole at least. As Rocket now overtakes Sparty. Out of turn 9, down towards now turn 10, down the back straightaway. Tom doesn't have DRS. He has to pray, excuse me, he has to pray for the Aston Martin to make a mistake. That's the only way he's going to win this. Around turn 12, up towards turn 13. And what has been actually a superb effort from Cole, I will say that, on those 22 lap old mediums. Was one of the few drivers that pitted under the first safety car. Around the final quarter now, up to the start finish line, and it's a win for Cole. He wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Tom will take second, and Jacob will hold on to third. Vernis in fourth. Oh, for Blockman though, 5th place. Who could have fought possibly for the podium. Black Ball, a nice little race from him. 6th place is what he gets. Nico will get 7th as Rebellion dropped down to 8th. Apparently in this little battle that they had. Because I remember he was catching him at one point. The battle for 9th though. Between Roden and Rocket and Sparty. It looks like Roden will hold on. 9th place to Roden. And the top 10 completed by Rocket. Sparty will claim 11th. Sergeant Bill in 12th. Twisty Canadian, Tikarizi, and Professor Phil. As he has a fight for the final point spot. The top 15 do score points. Alright, so Professor Phil, he's got to hold off Motion God. Round turn 12. And up towards turn 13. His teammate crossed the line in 14th, who will claim the final point spot. And it's looking like, I think, going to be Professor Phil. Yep, it will be. He will claim 15th, the final point scoring spot. And Motion God, 16th for him. But a superb effort from Cole to take victory here at Spain. 23 laps on the mediums. I want to know what his tire wear was. Because that is the superb effort from Cole. Onto the corridor celebration. It's victory number 1 for Cole, and points for Aston Martin as well, thanks to him getting a win. Not a bad effort from Cole. Second, though, claiming to Tom, and third to Jacob. Another podium for him. This time, though, third place. But well done to everybody there. We had about 4 tournaments, I believe. But yeah, only 1 safety car came out in this entire thing. Cole just did the best job. From 7th in the grid to win the race. Both him and Tom were outside the top 5, and then he finished in the top 2. Superb. Jacob will be in 3rd, followed by Veritas. Blockman claims 5th, and with fastest lap, so he'll score an extra point. Black Bull is 6th, Nico 7th, Rebellion 8th, Roden 9th, Rocket LMR in 10th, Spari 11th, Sergeant Bill in 12th, Twisty Canadian 13th, Take Her Easy 14th, Professor Phil will claim the final point spot. Then it's Motion God, Style Harmony, Sharky, Sublime, and Surf. Alright, so I know in the American Series we don't do interviews too much, but even though I can't really invite Xbox players, I don't know how to, I'll just invite Cole instead. If he wants to chat it. If he wants to. I do have him on my friends list still, don't I? Yep. Alright. I'll add him in here. Just in case if he wants to join. Oh, yeah. Not a bad Grand Prix. I will say that. Whew. Alright, there you go. On to the virtual showroom as well. Almost went into the player room, actually. Alright. But yeah, sorry to Tom and Jacob. I would interview you if you were in another platform, but yeah. But still, great job to you both. But we do have our race winner, and that is Cole. Can you hear me okay, at least?
Yep, you're loud and clear, how am I?
Hello. Well, not a bad race from you, I'd say. You qualified 7th. I guess it probably wasn't the best to your standards, but you made the most out of those medium tires, 23 laps. How were they towards the end?
Oh, they were completely awful. Pretty much, I didn't want to pit, but it kind of forced my hand with the lap that it came out on. So I just kind of took a big chance and then wanted to make my way through traffic. After that, I just saved up ERS to the end because I knew that'd save my ass a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
So those last 5 laps were absolutely terrible. I felt like I was on ice.
What was the percentage on them? Did you get a good look?
Yeah, I believe my rear left was just over 70%. So just at that threshold where they would pop.
Oh, so they were close to being puncture. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah. I was really hoping the whole time, but I know I just kept saving ERS to like the last 5 laps.
Well, but yeah, qualifying. Like I mentioned, you qualified 7th, I believe. But do you think you could have done a little bit better in qualifying? Was there a little bit more time, you think, in any of your runs?
Maybe a 10th. I might have been able to gain a position, but this isn't one of my greatest tracks. So I mean, I just took whatever I could get and just focused on the race. I know my race pace is a little bit better, and obviously anything can happen with anyone. So I'm truly surprised that I won because there's some quick people in this lobby.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And plus, one of your, I think Blockman would have been your closest rival too. He pitted for the soft tire. It's, I don't know if that was a mistake by Mark or by him, but yeah, that really cost him, I'd say. But, well, one more follow-up question to you. I mean, I know you're reserved, but do you think you'll be back next week for Portugal?
Yeah, I believe I am with my work schedule right now. I'm usually available on the weekend for the next few weeks, so I should be good to go.
Okay. Well, if you do get the spot to race, how do you fare with Portugal, especially with these 22 cars?
It's surprisingly because last year when it first came out in the other game, I did not have any pace, and but this year, for some reason, I'm a little bit more confident. I don't know if it's just a little bit better setup, but it's actually pretty fun to drive. So, just a few corners I got to watch out for with the rear end. Other than that, I mean, it's a pretty fun track to race at.
Yeah. Well, congratulations though on your win, Cole, and hopefully we'll see you back next week. And yeah, congratulations.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, of course. Have a good night to you too, man.
All right, bye.
Alright. And like that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream. So, we got plenty of racing to come here at Spain for the regional series, of course. But for America Open Series, we will have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been K1997. Farewell, everyone, and we will see you next weekend for round 3 of the championship on Super Bowl Sunday, as a matter of fact, as well, at the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve for the Portuguese Grand Prix in Portimao. Until then, goodbye.